All right, we're going to do a short review on the Akrapovic, I think that's how you say it, S-Y2SO12-HAPC muffler. I know that's kind of a complicated name, but that's what they call it. This one is on my 2026 Yamaha R3. I bought this R3 brand new about 3 weeks ago in late June 2026, and almost immediately disliked the muffler that came with it. It looks boring and it sounds like a scooter. So we had to come up with something else, and this is what I came up with. Now, I'm going to say up front, the R3 is generally regarded as a beginner bike or a starter bike, and that's why a lot of people buy it. And I would say that if that is your purpose in getting an R3, then I would not recommend this muffler just because of what it costs. It's $400. I paid $475 for it from Dennis Kirk. I checked Dennis Kirk again right before this video, and it was up to $512, and it was $625 on Amazon. So this is not a cheap accessory, and I would recommend, if you are going to do this, shop around, because the prices are all over the place. But getting back to the starter bikes, if you plan on riding the R3 for just a year or two and then upgrading to something better, then it doesn't make sense to spend this kind of money. That money be better off somewhere else in your pursuits. In my case, for my motivations, I bought this R3 as an around town buzz around errand bike. I'm not a new rider. I've been riding 40 years, that's right. And my main road bike is a BMW leader bike, sport bike. So I've got something cool to rip around on. I wanted something light and easy to handle for just buzzing around town. So I plan on keeping this R3 for quite a while. So in that sense, spending the money for the muffler makes more sense because I'm going to have it for a long time. So that's kind of how you have to approach it. If you're, you got to think about what you're spending to what you're going to get out of it. And I plan on getting a lot out of this. So, the brand new bike was $4,800, I believe. And, the muffler was $475, not including tax. So the muffler was 10% of the cost of the bike. You've got to keep it a while to justify that kind of money. So keep that in mind when you shop for any bike accessory. Consider how long you're going to keep the bike and what the accessory costs and what you're going to really get out of it before you get rid of it. Now, as far as putting this muffler on, absolutely do not pay someone to do this because it is crazy simple. And I'll show you. All there is to it is this bolt right here. It goes on the existing exhaust manifold. Then there's a spring in the back. I don't think it's picking up on camera too well. And then this side bolt with the strap. So that is all. There's 2 bolts and a spring. 20 minutes, you're done. And that includes taking the old one off. So all in all, I'm real happy with this muffler. Later in the video, I'm going to start this bike up and you can hear for yourself what it's like. I'll also add that when you initially start the bike up, this muffler doesn't sound all that much different than the stock if it's just idling or you're going slow like through a parking lot. But once you give it a little blip of gas and you get going, it sings. So all in all, I'm very, very happy with it. It looks awesome. It sounds awesome. I plan on having it a long time. So for me, this was the perfect fit. Here's the stock muffler, the way it came on the bike. As you can see, it's pretty boring. I mean, it does the job, but it's not exciting. It's just your basic Yamaha muffler, and it even looks like it came off a scooter. So, if you want some style, you're going to have to get something else. But this is the stock muffler, and it was actually harder to take this off than it was to put the new one on. that took up most of the 20 minutes of that install. Back here at the bike, I wanted to do this part of the video to show you the difference. You notice the outlet of the Akrapovic is substantially bigger in diameter than the stock. That gives you a little more beefy sound. That's where your beefy sound comes from. But the difference between the two is very obvious. You can see that. Plus, the actual physical size of the two mufflers. You can see the Akrapovic is physically larger. This is the muffler from the stock, and it's lined up. If you lined it up with the back, you line them up, you can see how much farther this one goes. Plus, on the aftermarket one, this tube, this exhaust tube here, is much longer than the stock. If you look at the stock, you can see that's very short going into the muffler, and that's substantially longer going into the muffler. Now we're going to roll the bike out to the street and start it up, and you can hear what it sounds like. Alright, that's what it sounds like at idle and at speed. I revved it up to about 8,000 there. And you can even get a little bit of crackle and pop in there. Not a lot, because this is a small displacement engine. But all in all, I would say that this muffler is excellent. I love it. Again, if you don't plan, if you're a beginner and this is your starter bike and you plan on getting upgrading to a different bike in a year or two, you probably don't want to blow $500 on a muffler. If you're like me and this is your second bike and you plan on keeping it a while, then yeah, do it. You're gonna have the bike a long time, and you want it to sound right. So that's basically it. There's the Akrapovic, I believe that's how you say it, S-Y2SO12-HAPC muffler. Hope this has been helpful. We'll see you on the next one.